The pursuit of personal growth and material success is the process addressed by the Goal Success Club.
I've been associated with the Goal Success Club for probably about 3 years, as well as Teamworks, and the results have just been fantastic. The teaming environment and the follow-up and accountability that's associated with the format of the Goal Success Club is one of the best things that I've found. We have a lot of training that's done internally within our organization and externally, where we hire professional sales companies to do sales training. But one of the things that's always missing in most sales training programs is you learn a lot of things, but then how do you really roll those out into your day-to-day activities? What the Goal Success Club does is it really brings down the basic blocking and tackling and forms accountability groups that meet on a regular basis to assure that you're actually using the tools that you know and that you've learned. And it works great.
Well, work hasn't been my problem, as opposed to some of the other people in the group. Mine has been more my personal life. I'm fully dedicated at work, and I tend to overachieve on the work side. And so most of my goals pertain to family, social, trying to get enough sleep, trying to mix in a little bit more balance and fun in my life. I don't have much time, so my biggest thing is it helps me get organized. I get caught up in the day-to-day to-do lists and things like that, and it helps me take a step back, look at the big picture goals, meet with some very good friends, and have them kind of keep an eye on me and making sure that I'm following my goals. And I think mainly it's been helping me get a little bit more efficient and getting more sleep. So I usually try to pack everything into 26 hours into 24-hour days, and it just doesn't work.
Come on, Pozo. Come on.
The concepts of the Goal Success Club apply to all levels of human endeavor. In retirement, John Schenkel still benefits from his former involvement with the club.
Well, you know, one of the things about living up here and not isolation, but not in the city where you have around a lot of people, but living alone and trading, you miss that strength and power of a group like we had in the earlier days. I had a partner, and he and I worked together kind of as a team, and then he died, and that left me alone, and that's where the group really helped a lot, because then I had some other people to bounce off. When you're at the top alone, you need something. You need some place to turn for support, and everyone needs that, I think.
Regular meetings with a small group of friends are a hallmark of the Goal Success Club.
A measuring stick for my health is that when I'm feeling healthy and when I'm working out, I put more muscle weight on. So I'm actually trying to gain weight.
I had it in 5 categories. Physical, the main thing is get in shape, and I have various goals to do that, focusing on my health and eating right and working out. Family, social, plan some vacations, buy a Porsche, get out a little bit more.
I still need to put together my 3-year goals.
Yeah, let's just
But
go from your 1 year for now.
But some of the main things that I was trying to accomplish in 1999, my wife and I have been trying to start a family for a couple of years. So we hit the number 1 goal. She's pregnant with twins. That's pretty exciting. So we're pushing that.
We got 3 of us so far.
Goal Success Club meetings follow a format. Previous goals are discussed, the course to long-term goals evaluated, and
Those
current
really my 3
goals
to
are
5 year
set.
goals. I really want to get our family kick-started, and I want to be able to put my time and energy into projects and a career that allows me to be project-oriented and have 3 months off a year and just wherever the world takes me.
You bet.
So, all right, let's we've already ran through some of our time. Why don't we get focused and write our goals?
Time is allotted for each step of the process. Groups are kept small so the process can be completed within a reasonable time frame. Goals must be SMART. That means specific, measurable, achievable, rewarding, and timely.
Go. 1, 2,
Goals are written out on club forms. Copies of each person's new goals are then given to fellow club members who are contractually obliged to hold the writers accountable.
Kevin, did I get one of yours?
Yeah. Take time out to think about the big picture in life as opposed to daily to-do lists. I'm good at that. 2, network more with my classmates. Stanford has opened many doors that I have not chosen to walk through. And think big. Take bigger risks. These people made me feel like a little ant this weekend. So it's inspiring because it's there. Everything's available to me. I'm just not doing anything about it. Not that I haven't done anything, but just there's so much more to do.
The only way any all this stuff is going to get accomplished is I got to force myself to take a half-day personal time every week, and I need to schedule that. You said you want to learn guitar, you want to try to do that on Fridays. I need to free up my calendar a half day, which is called Joe time, and that way I can work on these goals. So if not, the whole week goes by, and I'm tired, I get home after work, and it's the same old grind, and I really don't spend any of that proactive time. So I had to force myself to say 1 day a week is just my half day. That's when I read the stuff, that's when I act on it, and if I could just force myself just a half day a week to give that to me outside of my career and Rosie and my family, I think it'll make a big difference.
There's a lot to be said about how we ourselves work and how things work. Humans, for example, tend to think of themselves as, some magical being that can just do things without functioning. But in fact, we have a heart, the heart stops, we're in trouble. We also have a brain, and it functions, and body chemistry and other things are affected. They affect how we perform. We are, in a psychological sense, equally dependent on the physical, actual things that go on around us. When we have other people interacting with us, we are performing differently than we perform when we're alone. And that interaction can be significant and important. There's numerous studies coming out now that even our health is affected by how many friends we have. The people who have more friends are healthier people. Those are realistic things that happen. Whether we want them to happen or not doesn't matter. They are factors. We are in part responsive to our environment. And so getting together with other people to do this has an undeniable psychological benefit.
Upon request, Teamswork organizes a variety of workshops in exotic locations for private groups and corporate programs, creating an environment where the motivation to succeed is underscored. A better life beckons.
There's a lot of factors that lead to our success. Greed or profit motivation is one of those. Another, perhaps more human aspect of that is our interaction with other people. And to do that, of course, you need a group. You need a group of people that can get together and share and interact and exchange, trade attention, and so forth. That kind of interaction can help one reach their goals better and reach better goals, both private and business goals. A manager, a business manager, someone might be able to give one direction, set goals, and so forth, but they can't really approach us from a peer point of view. The one thing a manager can't do is apply peer pressure, and as we know, that's a very, very strong motivating factor in anybody's life.
We all have the accountability that we get from, the companies that we work for. Here's an opportunity now for you to integrate that by talking to some of your peers. It's club environment where you have several other people doing work on their own stuff, but that you're reviewing how you're progressing with each other. Special dynamics occur. One of the dynamics that occurs is that the most powerful learning situation occurs when the teacher doesn't realize they're the teacher and the student doesn't realize they're the student. So as someone else is having a eureka factor and they're coming up with things that work for them, you're picking up things from them and they're picking up things from you.
I think one of the most motivating factors is if you make goals with other people and they start reaching theirs and you're not reaching theirs, it's a real motivator. You want to go get yours done too. And so it starts to force everyone to succeed together. because they force somebody to actually think about where it is they're going. And after all, how are you going to get there if you don't think about where you're going? And then it gives you a chance to actually express that more formally, to think it through to the point where you can talk about it. It then gets you feedback about whether that's perhaps a smart thing or an easy thing, or even get suggestions as to how to achieve your goals. But most importantly, I think it applies some pressure, if you will. Sometimes people make a goal and then they forget what the goal was. But this helps them stay really on track and actually reach their goals, get some feedback whether they're getting there or not.
All right, great. So now that we've formed groups, it's important that we examine our commitment to testing this concept. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you look over a sample contract that other participants have put together, where they say, hey, if I'm going to put out this effort, I want to make sure that my fellow club members are on the same page as I am. So here's where we go over rule by rule, line by line, what you're willing to commit to, and you need to ask your club members if they're on the same level of commitment that you are, and for how long you're willing to give this a full test.
The question is for everyone. What are you doing to ensure a fulfilling life? The Goal Success Club can help by giving you the tools. The work is up to you and your goal partners, keeping on course and steering toward your chosen future.
Well, I think that at a minimum, everybody ought to do some of this kind of work just to evaluate how it's working for themselves. I'm certain that most people, if not all people, will find some real benefits to both the analysis and thought and development of what their goals are, as well as the sharing and the support that comes from the people around them. And I don't think you can do it anywhere near as well alone as you can with a group. It just, a group can do more than one. What is it they say? The whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
It enabled me to do things that I don't believe I could have done without the support. I went through a merger with my company, and real estate transactions which were darn near impossible, using the things I had learned in the group, the technology, how to formulate your goals, how to daily routines, things of that nature, that I really wasn't aware of until I got involved with the group. And we read books. And he said, here, you ought to read this book. And I got involved with that too, studies. And when we came to the group meetings, we would discuss these things and pass ideas around. And someone had come up with something, say, I heard this the other day, a nice little thing to do. And say, I think I'll try that next week. And maybe the other person would try it for a few days, or a week, or 2 weeks, and say, that really works for me. That's one of the things I think you need to do, is find out what works for each individual self. So some things work, some things didn't. But the exposure and the support from the group is very powerful.